Hi guys, Yuki here with Seduce Me, the Prince versus the Brute. So this came out back in January, and I know I have been basically not present on this channel for like 6-7 months now, since literally August, because I've just been working on graduating from college. But I'm like, hey, gonna be in spring break soon, so might as well get to do this now. And it's just like, I miss doing this. Like, I miss the audience. I miss like everybody, really, because I don't know. It's kind of like a little bit of just a little bit of a therapy kind of thing, I guess you could say. But I'm like super rusty, so let's just continue this on and start. And also, I am like still kind of sick. Well, I've been sick literally for like a week and a half almost, but I'm at the end of it, so sorry for the nasally voice I have right now. Okay. I've lived in the mansion for about half a year. Even after I graduated from school, life in the house became one filled with interesting events and experiences. Why? Because I live with incubi. My summer vacation became filled with boys living in my home, cooking me food, helping me clean, and overall just being the most intriguing roommates anyone could ever have. I mean, imagine it. You walk into the kitchen to get a drink, and all of a sudden a really hot guy walks in to grab something, and his equally hot brother joining after. Or you wander down a hall, and a guy clad only in a towel casually steps out of the bathroom. Yeah, it's a fantasy perfect for any visual masochist who loves seeing men. Oh my. However, for me, it was reality. I lived with 5 extremely hot men who happened to be demons, and I slowly adjusted to it, to where I wasn't internally drooling at the sight of them. It was hard, I won't lie, especially with the 2 of the incubi in particular. James, the eldest, and Sam, the middle brother, both were extremely handsome to me, but were on opposite ends of the spectrum as to why. James was the James was the picture-perfect image of a gentleman. He was kind, caring, wise, and extremely conscious of everything around him, to where he knew exactly how to handle any problem his way. Also, he was tall, which was, kind of helped the situation. Well, in situations. I feel ya. I'm only 5'1". Hey, James, can you help me reach the top shelf? I want to check on the dishes for any cracks.
Huh? Certainly.
Man, it's so weird. I haven't heard this voice in literally almost a year. His height proved to be very useful, especially when I caught him shirtless. What does that have to do with anything? Add on the fact that he wore glasses, had perfectly groomed hair, spoke many different languages, and was the new CEO of my grandfather's company. And you had you had perfection all in a singular being. On the other hand, Sam was on the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of personality and lifestyle compared to James, with toned muscles and strength for days. Sam never failed to make my jaw drop with the simplest of actions. Carries an ox. I can't carry this.
Hey, you need help lifting that?
Oh my god, that was weird. I think I should probably... I'm wearing headphones, so it literally sounded like he was talking in my ear. Huh? Yeah, I'd appreciate it. While many people imagine him to be a total ass, once you got up close to him, he was actually a pretty nice guy. He worked as a police officer, dedicated to serving justice, but always had time to help around the house and play video games with the two younger incubi. James and Sam stood out to me, and I couldn't get my mind off of either of them. Sometimes I wound up picturing both incubi charming me at once before I had to smack my head with a pillow to snap back into reality. A charming gentleman or a down-to-earth heartthrob? My heart was split. Even in my own home, I was lost in trying to decide. I couldn't have both. I knew that it wasn't fair to claim both. Deep within my heart, I understood that I could only devote my life to one, yet it temporarily yearned for two. What the hell was I gonna do?
Hey, you alright?
Looking up, I was met with Sam gently laying a hand on my head and rustling my hair gently. His simple touch made my cheeks warm up, but I shook my head, pretending that was nothing wrong. No, I'm alright.
You sure? You look like something was seriously bugging you.
I'm fine, really.
Is there something we can help with?
Just my luck. James entered the dining room on the other side of my seat, cell phone in hand as his thumb quickly tapped a long text out to someone. Despite accomplishing this, his focus was on me, eager like Sam to know if I was okay. I half expected the others to show up as well. Sam took his hand off my head as I looked at the entrance of the dining room, curiously. Seriously, guys, I'm fine. Where are the others?
Well, I just got word that Matthew's working overtime at the company, trying to perfect a toy he's been designing. Eric is at his tailor shop working on a commissioned suit, and Damien is assisting him for the evening.
You know, I kinda can't wait for Damien to get his one, because you already know he's my favorite. So, it's just us?
Yep. Got a preference for dinner? I've been craving steak.
Well, I would prefer chicken tonight. We'd appreciate your opinion on the matter.
Oh no. This is such a tough choice. I don't know. Did you both forget I can't eat meat? I really like steak, but I also like chicken, but I don't know. I'll go with chicken. I guess I'll go with James first. Tonight was chicken night. Sam shrugged, moving and taking a seat at the table. James, however, smiled and nodded before walking towards the kitchen, but not before giving my shoulder a slight squeeze. Huh? I looked up at James to catch a small smirk on his lips before he vanished into the kitchen. What? James took his time in making dinner, regardless of what he was making. James always made dinner smell absolutely delicious. I couldn't wait to dig in. I took the time to get lost in some online videos. There were a couple of cool Let's Players that I had been following, and I always managed to find that time to watch them play new games, especially indie games. I see what you did there. Yeah. There were a large amount of girls I admired in the Let's Play community, and I made sure to stay up to date with each of them. They deserved it after all. Sam, however, kept his focus to his cell phone for some reason, typing and waiting as if he was texting war with someone. He had thankfully learned how to read and write, so texting was easy for him, but he was never really attached to his phone in the first place. He's probably texting James, and, you know, the whole brute versus prince thing. My curiosity got the better of me. What are you doing?
Oh, just texting.
Who are you texting?
Oh, Nanya.
Nanya business. Nanya who?
Nanya business.
God.
Sam, don't be rude.
James finally stepped in with a plate of food in each hand and a third plate on his elbow. He served me, then Sam, then set the third plate on the seat across from Sam for himself. Of course, as James would, he made pasta for the three of us. James had made us all chicken parmesan with farfalle pasta. I hope I said that right. I was ecstatic just from the sight, but the smell of the fresh garlic and sauce melting with the cheese was mouth-watering.
Thanks for cooking, James.
You're welcome, Sam.
I had to stop for a moment and look up at the two brothers just from the sound of their voices. Something was up. something wrong? Both, as if synchronized by my voice, turned to me in surprise before shaking their heads. Okay, this is weird.
We're fine. Just hurry up and eat, doofus.
Hey.
Sam, why must you use the term doofus? It seems rather insulting, don't you think?
Wait, what?
What's wrong with it? It's just a nickname.
A -1 at best.
Oh. Guys.
There's nothing wrong with the word doofus. You're just overthinking it.
I could be, but I also tend to give people a little more respect than calling them random titles.
Oh yeah, he called me Miss. I forgot about that. Guys! Silence took over at last, but the boys still kept glaring at each other as their fight continued in their heads. What the heck was wrong with them? What the heck is going on? Why are you two fighting? No reply. It was like their mental fight turned into a war. I didn't want to make things worse by siding with one or the other without knowing what was truly going on, so I had to get out of the situation and make them solve things like the brothers they were. I had only eaten a portion of my dinner and my appetite was already spoiled. You know what? I'm just gonna eat in my room. You two need to seriously talk and stop fighting. That seemed to break them out of their stare down. Both boys stared at me in surprise.
You don't have to...
Oh, shit. We're sorry.
Good night, guys. I'll see you both in the morning. I shook my head and I took my plate and left the dining room. Yeah, I really needed to give them space. They needed to sort out whatever hostility was between them, alone. As much as I cared for them both, they were adults and they needed to figure things out on their own. I finished dinner and did some work before going to bed. Maybe tomorrow they'd be okay. Darkness. Oh,
Just
God.
what the hell was that about?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Showdown at midnight?
Don't start that ignorant bullcrap, James. I know you were trying to make me look like an ass back there.
Oh my God, that scared me. I forgot which one took screenshots. There we go. No, seriously, like, the audio quality is, like, really good. Like, man, these things are making me jumpy.
I don't have to make you look like anything, Sam. You already do that enough yourself.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you really that obsessed about trying to show that you're better than me? That you'd stoop this low?
Trust me, if I was obsessed, you would not be able to be anywhere near this house. I'm merely trying to show my respect where it belongs and be a good role model.
I got goosebumps.
Is ass-kissing what you call respect? How about treating someone like a normal person instead of shoving them onto a pedestal?
Let go of me, Almaris.
Oh no, they came out with the demon names.
Oh, you want to start using our real names now, Raystro? I have no problem solving this like the demons we are, your fucking highness.
As much as you're threatening me to put you in your place, I'm sure that we both would not like to go down that path.
Right, because you have a reputation of being a gentleman.
I don't see a problem with having such a reputation when it's true.
We all know your secret, James.
Just because you're a gentleman doesn't make you better than me. I'd rather look someone in the eyes as an equal than be a perfectionist prick with a superiority complex.
Maybe so. Still, that doesn't mean I will concede to you over this.
I don't plan to back down either. I guess we're at an impasse.
Indeed. We'll just have to wait and see who she chooses.
The next morning, there was a strange air in the house. Eric, Matthew, and Damien were all up and off to work at dawn as if a fire had started when the sun rose. I knew they had work, but to leave without saying bye was out of place for all of them. Morning.
Morning.
Good morning, miss.
I was left alone with James and Sam again. James had taken the day off to clean the house, and Sam was off duty claiming the front yard for his rare Tai Chi practice. Part of me hoped that they had resolved whatever issue they had. A small inkling in my gut, however, told me otherwise. James had made breakfast for us, but both he and Sam had finished and left the dining room to attend to their own agendas. I ate in silence, trying to discern my own thoughts. As I finished my last bite, I slumped into my chair and sighed, wondering what the heck was going on. I didn't want to intrude, but maybe I had to this time. Maybe the problem was just that bad. I looked out the window of the dining room, catching sight of James tending to the flowers. As I turned to the archway of the main hall, I imagined Sam outside going into some meditation pose on the yard. Who was I going to approach about this? I'm gonna go with James. And then I'll go back to do Sam. I knew that James had a better level head, so speaking to him about trouble was much easier than speaking to Sam. I walked out to the garden, looking over to see James pulling out weeds and resoiling some of the plants around the windows. At my gaze, James stopped and turned to me with a smile.
Did you enjoy breakfast?
Yeah, thank you. James?
What is it?
Can I ask you about what happened last night? For a moment, James seemed to stare at me in silence before turning his gaze to the flowers in front of him and closing his eyes.
I must apologize for that. Sam and I are having some personal issues as of late.
What do you mean? Is there anything I can do to help? James shook his head and stood up, walking to me with a small, reassuring smile.
I'm afraid this is something we'll both have to deal with for a while in private. It's nothing major.
Well, technically, if this is about me, I have every right of knowing. I didn't like the sound of that. Something was off in his speech. I knew better than that. I wasn't stupid. James? I reached forward and grabbed James's hand, uncaring for the dirt that stained it. He stared at me in shock, but didn't pull away. Good. Let me help. Let me help. You and Sam are brothers. You shouldn't be fighting like this. At that moment, I could see guilt paint over his expression as he lowered his head.
We are brothers, but...
We got different mothers. Oh. I could see him try and form words in his mouth, but he would not let his voice fill out with what he wanted to say. It was like he was holding back some sort of big secret, one I needed to hear. To my surprise, however, he gently pulled his hand away from my grasp. Shock.
But this is something we really can't let you get involved in. I'm sorry. Please understand.
James.
I wish I could tell you the situation, but we don't want you to be put into a position where you feel uncomfortable and be forced to choose sides.
With the back of his clean hand, James gently brushed a strand of hair from the side of my face to behind my ear.
You deserve to freely make your own choices.
What did that even mean? Oh. Before I could think on it more, my phone began to buzz. Huh? Excuse me. James silently nodded and returned to his work as I quickly rushed inside and answered. Much to my displeasure, my parents had called me, checking up on me and asking if I was prepared for college. I had recently graduated from high school a month prior and was on my way to college, which was a quick commute from the mansion. I rushed to my room to continue the call, knowing that my ear would be attached to the phone for a while if both my mom and dad shared it in talking to me. It escaped me how long I was on the phone with them. When I was finally able to hang up, it was already time for lunch. Great. I slowly made my way down the dining room, thinking on simple something simple to eat when my worries about Sam and James became real once again.
Would you get out of the kitchen, Sam?
Why? I'm trying to make lunch.
And that requires you to make a mess?
Hey, I'm trying to be nice and make all of us lunch, you ungrateful prick.
Oh no. I rushed into the dining room but stopped as James spoke again.
Do you think making this mess will get her appreciation?
What?
Since when the hell was that your business?
Since you decided to come in and use up the ingredients I was going to use for our lunch!
I'm sorry, all right? I just want to.
You want to try and impress her with cooking, taking away a job I do in the house in hopes to earn her affections.
Sometimes it's not about that. Sometimes just being a generous person. God.
So what if I am?
Oh.
You're not the only person in this house who can cook for her.
At least I don't have to make a mess to show my affection for her.
They both liked me?
You're such an asshole.
You're really pushing the limits of my patience, Sam.
What are you gonna do, huh?
I really hope they don't explode the kitchen. That's it. Both of you stop it. The kitchen was a mess, and Sam and James were nose to nose with each other, anger flaring in their eyes before they turned to me in fear. They were caught red-handed, and I was going to set them straight whether they wanted me to be involved or not. Both of you, dining room, now. I fought back the angry snarl in my voice. This was ridiculous. They were fighting each other over me? Despite feeling flattered, I was not going to let this continue. I glared hard at the both of them, causing them to slowly make their way out of the kitchen and into the dining room. Heads hung low in shame. I kept my eyes on them until they both sat at the table, one seat separating them. At least they respected who still owned the house. You will both sit there in silence until I tell either of you to speak. Got it? James and Sam nodded, staring at the table like children who were about to be grounded. I, however, took some time to fix the kitchen and make quick sandwiches for lunch. It gave me time to think of my plan of attack. They both liked me. That's why they were hiding the fight from me. They didn't want me to pick sides, but now it had gone too far. I felt conflicted, but both of them were being idiots about the situation. Were they that jealous of each other? Then again, they were brothers who liked the same person. I let out a sigh and placed my plate of food on the crook of my elbow while I carried both of their plates to the dining room with my hands. After sitting our food down, I crossed my arms and looked at both Sam and James. First of all, it doesn't matter who makes food for this house as long as it's done without something exploding and any mess made is cleared after. James grimaced and Sam lowered his head further, timidly scratching his head. Second, the fight between you two needs to stop. I don't care who started it, but I am not someone to fight over, especially not like this. At that, James and Sam stared up at me in shock. As their mouths opened in shock, I held my hand up to ensure no sound would interrupt from either party. Look, this is a really bad situation. I get it. However, fighting each other is not going to help anything. I care about both of you. A part of my heart began to break. I really did care and love both, but eventually I was going to have to choose one. This was going to hurt. So I'm going to need some time to think about this. No matter how this goes, I hope you'll both respect my decision. They stared at me, but they nodded in unison. As the situation hit them, they slumped their shoulders and returned their focuses down on the table. Do either of you have anything to say now?
No, miss. Just that we are extremely sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry. Take as much time as you need, alright?
Thank you. This was a very sad decision. James was a gentleman who treated me like no other man had before, but Sam was the kind of man who made me feel safe and kept me down to earth. Time began to fly by without me noticing it. I remained silent to both of them about my choice for weeks. They respected my silence and remained civil to each other. I truly cared for both, and yet I knew one of them made me feel special. While the love I had for the other was deep, the affection I had for the man I truly adored seemed to be endless. How did it take me this long to figure this out? I stared at my bedsheets, lost in thought. I had made up my mind, yet I was worried about hurting the one I did not choose. No, it was okay. They would not hold any ill will against me or the one I chose. I knew deep in my heart that that was the case here. I just had to be brave and follow my heart. And my heart wanted. Go with James. I slowly made my way down the stairs, hoping to catch one of the boys in the dining room or kitchen. Huh? Oh!
Hey.
Oh, this is awkward. I smiled softly. He seemed more relaxed than I imagined. Hey, Sam. We stared at each other for a long time before Sam let out a small, defeated laugh.
James is outside.
Huh?
I know you well enough to know that you love him, and you're set on telling him. I had a snowball's chance in hell against James.
Hey. I walked up to him and placed my hand on his cheek, frowning slightly. I still care about you, Sam. Despite carrying sad eyes, Sam smiled back and rustled my hair.
And I care about you. Now, don't keep him in suspense. Might as well go let him know how you feel.
A part of me felt relieved to know that Sam was going to be okay. I nodded to him and raised my arms to him, offering a hug. Sam was always the best at giving strong hugs. Sam wrapped his arms around me in a friendly hug, giving me a quick squeeze before releasing me and saluting on his way to the dining room. At that moment, I knew I was okay. James? At my call, I pinned my sights onto the man in question. He was staring at the flowers around the gazebo, stopping to turn to me at my voice.
Miss, is everything all right?
I couldn't help but getting a small grin on my face. Everything's good, James. I just wanted to tell you something.
What is it?
I took a breath. It was answering a question long overdue. My heart was skipping beats and my face began to warm in a slight blush. This was it. James, I choose you. A moment of silence. James stared at me in shock at my words, taking in what I had said. My chest finally relaxed and joy slowly took over my expression. Aww. James gently held out his hand out to me, holding its other to his chest. Screenshot!
I don't deserve you, but I would be honored to make you happy for as long as you will have me.
I know you will, James. I know you will. Something in my heart clicked. I had made the right choice. What would happen between us? All I knew was that I would find a perfect, happy ending in his arms. The princess and the prince. That's cute. And I guess I will go on to the next part, I guess. Woo. I'll just skip over this once I record that, so you don't have to worry about that. I want steak too. I needed steak. James gave me a slight nod before walking to the kitchen in silence. Sam, on the other hand, gave me a toothy grin before walking over to the seat near me and sitting down. I was a little confused to see Sam so happy for a meal preference, but I shrugged and smiled back. James took his time in making dinner. Regardless of what he was making, James always made dinner smell absolutely delicious. I couldn't wait to dig in. And all that stuff. Oh, to my surprise, James didn't make a pasta dish. James had made perfect filet mignons with mushrooms, pairing it with mashed potatoes and green beans. felt a little underdressed just from how fancy the dish was, but that did not stop me from tucking in.
Thanks for cooking, James.
You're welcome, Sam.
Go to Sam. Sam was pretty chill with me, so I only assumed he would be more open to talk about the problem than James would have been. I walked out to the front yard, catching Sam slowly moving from energy pose to energy pose in his Tai Chi. I felt slightly guilty for walking in, but Sam called out to me without interrupting his movements.
Hey, need me for something?
No, I... For a moment, I grew flustered. I didn't want to be rude and interrupt his Tai Chi. However, Sam froze in a pose and moved his hand to wave me over.
Come over and spit it out. I can't read your mind like Damien.
With a small grimace, I walked over beside him. Naturally, I felt myself join in on his movements as he began to work through his forms again. Still, I came out here for a reason, and it wasn't to do Tai Chi. Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Is everything okay between you and James? For a moment, Sam seemed to hesitate in his pose transition. After a small sigh, Sam stood up straight and looked at me, causing me to straighten up as well.
It's a really stupid reason, okay? James and I are kind of... I guess you can say we're fighting. But we don't want to make it bigger than it is, you know? It's just something between us.
I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do to help? Sam stared at me in silence, but I could almost see a million thoughts running in his head through his gaze. Was the situation really that private? To my surprise, Sam lowered his gaze to the ground between us, almost as if he was ashamed of something. Was it regret to say anything at all, or was it he ashamed to be held back?
Look, I really want to tell you, but it's kind of personal, okay?
Sam. I could see him try and form words in his mouth at me speaking his name, but he simply shut his eyes tightly and gritted his teeth. What was going on that had him so tight emotionally? Suddenly, Sam reached out and softly took my hands in his, staring down at them.
We don't want you to get involved, okay? It wouldn't be fair for you to get in the middle and pick sides like that. This may be a shitty situation, but we're not gonna put you in that position.
What do you mean?
I know I sound like a shitty person for pushing you away like this, but it's really not something we can get you involved in, alright?
Sam rubbed his thumbs over the back of my hands, unable to look me in the eyes. I, however, didn't know how to feel.
You shouldn't be influenced by either of us.
Well, what was that supposed to mean? Before I could do more, my phone began to buzz. Huh? Excuse me. Sam silently nodded and returned to his Tai Chi as I quickly rushed inside and answered. Parents. And then the choice of going with Sam. I slowly made my way down the stairs, hoping to catch one of the boys in the dining room or kitchen. Huh? Oh.
Oh, hello, miss.
I smiled softly. He seemed to be relaxed. Hey, James. We stared at each other for a long moment before James smiled and gestured for the backyard.
Sam is outside.
Huh?
I am well aware of your affections for Sam, miss. It is much deeper than I could ever imagine receiving.
Hey. I looked up to him and placed my hand on his cheek, frowning softly. I still care about you, James. Despite carrying sad eyes, James nodded and smiled in return.
And I you. No, you should go to him and let him know how you feel. He deserves to hear it now.
A part of me felt relieved to know that James was going to be okay. I nodded to him and raised my arms to him, offering a hug. James was much taller, and his embrace completely warmed me. James wrapped his arms around me in a friendly hug, giving me a quick squeeze before releasing me and bowing. After he stood back up, James made his way to the dining room. At that moment, I knew I was okay. Sam? At my call, I pinned my sights on the man in question. He was staring at the moon, breaking his thoughts to turn to me at my voice.
Huh? Hey, what's up?
I couldn't help getting a small grin on my face. Well, Sam, I want to tell you something.
What is it?
I took a breath, answering a question long overdue. My heart was skipping beats, and my face began to warm in a slight blush. This was it. Sam, I choose you. Yeah, you're my Pokemon now. A moment of silence. Sam stared at me in shock at my words, taking in what I had said. My chest finally relaxed, and joy slowly took over my expression. Aww, I love all these you know what I mean? I love all these. Oh my god, I completely forgot what they're called, but you know what they are. These picture thingies. I'll probably remember later, but right now I feel like a total moron because I'm totally blanking out. With a grateful look and grin, Sam, why do I call him Jam? It's because of James and Sam. They're Jam. Sam gently held his hand out to me.
I promise to do everything I can to make you happy. Thank you.
No, Sam. Thank you for loving me. Something in my heart clicked. I had made the right choice. What would happen between us? All I knew that I would find a perfect happy ending in his arms. Chaining the monster. I wonder if there's a choice where you can choose both. I'll see. Probably can't, but I'm still gonna see. Nope, there's no choice. I can only make those two choices. Well, yeah. So yeah, that was the prince versus the brute. It was really cute. But it's just like really good to finally be back after like a long hiatus. I can't say I'll be back for a really long time because I'm always like, to be honest, I have an obsession with Sims to the point it's unhealthy, and I really need a grasp on that. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I don't know, I guess I'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Bye!